Welcome back to the Vandy Sports Podcast here at Memorial Gymnasium after Vanderbilt's disappointing 60-48 loss at the hands of Southern Miss, likely a quad 3 or 4 loss. Very detrimental to Vanderbilt's resume, about as detrimental as you can get in early November. And a microcosm of this game was with about 30 seconds left, Jordan Wright goes in the lane, shoots a floater, gets his own rebound after he misses it, gets an open three, can't hit it, and then Ezra Mann goes back to the line, misses a three as well. So Vanderbilt had good looks throughout the night, couldn't hit enough to win this game, and obviously a tough one for Vanderbilt's resume and a disappointing loss in general. Vanderbilt had 3 or 4 guys who went scoreless: Tyron Lawrence, Liam Robbins, Paul Lewis, Noah Shelby, and Emmanuel Ansong all went scoreless, and those are guys that Vanderbilt's counting on to get them baskets throughout the games, and certainly can't have that often. And Vanderbilt's offense was the main issue tonight. Got off to a slow start. Thought maybe they had something when Jordan Wright started getting going early in the second half, but ultimately fell short, and the offense and the defense were non-coexistent tonight. They were pretty good defensively, only gave up 60 points, had pretty low percentages for Southern Miss, but as the night went on, couldn't get stops when they needed to, and when they did get a stop, the offense would turn it right back over. Offense ended with 15 turnovers and 7 assists, which obviously can't happen. Ezra Manjon only with 1 assist as well. Some positives from the night, though. Colin Smith came out and had an excellent first 5 or 6 minutes or so. Started with 7 points in a row on 3 of 3 shooting. Grabbed 4 offensive rebounds throughout the night, 10 total rebounds. Didn't shoot it great as the night went on, kind of stagnated offensively, but was a great bright spot for them throughout the night. Jordan Wright was also a bit of a bright spot. Kind of stepped into that role as an alpha for Vandy at times. They're going to need him to be more than just another guy for this team. He has to be the guy offensively, and he couldn't quite shoulder the load to end the game, but you saw flashes of him being the guy who would kind of take control of that offense, go get himself a look, and that's what we've been hoping to see from Jordan Wright for a while. I'm not sure he was the biggest bright spot of the night. I think that came from the Southern Miss side, but certainly some encouraging things out of him, although they did end up falling short, and resume-wise, it's huge that they fell short. This is about as catastrophic of a loss resume-wise as you can have in November, and Vanderbilt really cannot afford to have many more losses like this. I talked in the preseason about how they have to avoid the bad loss, so they're not in a position where they have to go get big wins in SEC play. Now you have to go make up for this with a quad 1 win somewhere, which you're already going to need a few. Now you need probably 1 or 2 more in addition to that, and Vanderbilt doesn't seem to be showing a whole lot of signs of a team that can offensively get those type of wins. So this was a big loss for Vanderbilt, about as big of a loss you can have in November. There's a lot of basketball left to be played, but Ezra Manjon and Jordan Wright have to take control of this team offensively, and Liam Robbins has to give them more than he did tonight, as well as Tyron Lawrence, for that to be even a possibility. Vanderbilt shot 32% from the field tonight, 12% from 3-point range, and we've talked about it for a while. It's a pretty 3-point reliant team, and when you shoot 12% from 3, I don't think there's many teams in the country that you can beat, even when you play good defense like Vanderbilt did tonight. And that was the big story. It was just the offense. They got off to a slow start. They couldn't shoot it well enough even when they got good looks, and they turned it over too much. The offense is not where anyone in the program wants it to be right now, and I don't really know how you fix that. You just got to hit shots, and they have to be able to hit catch and shoot looks as a team, and otherwise I don't really know how they generate offense this year. So not a whole lot to like on the offensive end tonight. Jordan Wright was a bright spot, though. Colin Smith was a bright spot. And I did like a little bit of what I saw from some of their other freshmen. Malik Dia had a solid night, 7 points, 3 for 5 shooting. Stackhouse mentioned that he liked a little bit of what he brought in the post. But still, this is a team that's really struggling to generate offense, and their defense was good tonight. Held Southern Miss to 34% from the field and 20% from 3, which you think would be good enough, but Vanderbilt still lost by 12, and they're going to need more from their offense, obviously. That's the big story. My job isn't just to state the obvious, but sometimes it's a big part of it. And they're not getting much from their vets right now, especially offensively. They're not producing enough offensively, and their offense and defense haven't coexisted to start the year. So not a whole lot to like from this team at the moment, but there is a lot of basketball left to be played. We've seen flashes from guys, and there's a lot of old guys on this team who have talent as well. So the season is not over for Vanderbilt. However, they have some uphill climbing to do now with a team that doesn't have a whole lot of confidence offensively and seems somewhat dejected as they ran off the floor today. Going into each player a little bit, Ezra Manjon showed some flashes of that burst he has. Now that some of these teams don't have guards who can kind of stay with him, like Memphis's guards could. Manjon seems to be a little bit more effective, but he's got to pass it better than he did today. Only 1 assist, although I'm sure he had some hockey assists. Tyron Lawrence had 0 points today, and that's a guy they're relying on to make a leap, kind of become an alpha in his role, and couldn't do that tonight. Couldn't really give him much of anything. Jordan Wright, talked about him a lot, sparked the run, showed flashes of being an alpha, and then ultimately fall short in the end. But I did like what I saw from him tonight. I think he has something to build on coming out of tonight, and I think stack like that as well. Miles Studi was pretty quiet as well, had 4 turnovers. Going to need more from essentially all of their veterans. They haven't got 2 good games out of any veteran yet, and that's also a huge issue. Haven't really got 2 good games out of really anyone yet. Colin Smith, I think, did some good things in Memphis game, but had 3 points. Has double-digit points on the season combined, but didn't have one game where he scored double digits. So normally I like to talk more about each individual player, but tonight they kind of all just lumped together. Couldn't do enough offensively. We're okay defensively. Played well enough to win on that end, but just didn't do enough offensively. Like I said, couldn't coexist, couldn't capitalize on good looks. And I did like that the offense flowed a little bit better. I think they do have that as a confidence point, but missed too many good looks throughout the night. The offense, the flow doesn't really matter if you can't hit open catch and shoot threes. So not a great night for Vanderbilt. They have Temple on Tuesday night. That's going to be a tough game against a tough physical team and what should be a tough environment. But Vanderbilt seems to have a little bit of flow going offensively. They can hit shots like we think they can, at least at some points. This can be a really good team. Still, I don't know if they're a team that can make the NCAA tournament with how much uphill climbing they have to do, but it is November. A lot of basketball has to be played. A lot of resume building opportunities in the next few weeks, and I think we will know kind of where this team stands around Thanksgiving break, maybe a little bit after, once we see some of those resume building opportunities. So thank you guys for watching. Had a very cool night, sat courtside, so thank you guys for making that possible. Shout out Chris. Sorry, we didn't have Chris tonight. You got his more handsome basketball beat guy, though. Just kidding. But I appreciate everybody watching and sticking with me with my coverage through tonight, which was not a fun night for a lot of Vanderbilt fans, I imagine. So thank you guys for watching again, and peace.